know, still you're gonna be on 15 different pills, and, you know, this here is the front line for health, period. You know, trainers, nutritionists, any of that is definitely your front line, right? And then you go into sick care. Like, this is your health care, now you're into sick care once you're at the hospital, so.
Yeah, well, just think about that. Like, if you don't have your health, then nothing else matters.
Yeah, that's the
You
last.
can have all the money in the world, and if you're sick, I mean, it's
Steve Jobs, right? I mean, look at him.
it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think that's I think America, I mean, I think people are starting to come around to it, but I think if, you know, we could have a lot more information out there, or just some people to kind of just start realizing that, okay, if I get healthy, it's going to positively affect everyone around me. It's kind of like that ripple effect.
Yeah.
Because I'll just use myself as an example, because I don't want to talk for anybody else.
Yeah.
But for me, it helped me become a better husband. Helped me, because I don't keep my wife awake all night.
Yeah,
Snoring.
And they get grumpy when they don't get their sleep. I know that.
So I say it didn't affect me, but really, yeah, it affected me.
Mhm.
Sorry, Eileen, you know it. You know what we're talking about. And a better father.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even at work, like, so I used to go at work when I was, you know, not eating well. Woodward has its own cafeteria,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, like I would get this giant. This is my weakness still, is chocolate chip cookies.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a hot plate, these giant chocolate chip cookies
Mm.
every day, and I would get one of those at lunch every day. So then what would happen? I would have that carb crash. A couple hours later,
Feel like crap.
you come by my desk at like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would be doing the head bob, just
Mhm.
trying to stay awake. Then I have to get up, go get a soda, and then, you know, like, I mean, this was the cycle every day. And so then I think about that. Like, I remember I started the nutrition program the day after I had knee surgery. And so I knew that I was just going to kind of laying around, just
Mhm.
focusing on the nutrition. And when I went back to work, it was like 1:30 one day, and I'd been back to work like a week, and I realized I'm wide awake. I'm
Yeah.
not tired.
I
I'm not
I don't need to go get that pop.
I don't need to get that soda. And for me, that was such a light bulb, because I was like, wow, like that's such a difference, you know, from what I was used to before.
Yeah. So your productivity went up. You're happier too when you're giving yourself the right nutrients. You know, there's no chemical imbalances because you're feeding yourself the right stuff. So yeah, that's huge, man. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I was gonna ask you, since you've been doing it for 8 weeks now, what does your exercise program look like? Is it 5 days a week? Is it weights, cardio, plyos? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I try to hit 5 days a week. I've been going to Maximum Performance in Rockford.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
they're cool. They have one in Belvedere too, right?
Yeah, they have one in Belvedere. I think they have one in South Beloit, so I'm going to the McChesney Park one.
Okay.
And then they have one in Rockford.
Downtown or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I've been liking that just because, well, one, it's like a class environment, which
So it's a team, yeah.
I kind of thrive on that.
Yeah.
I think now that I realize that, because
Mhm.
I mean, before I was going by myself, I didn't know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that because I'm not competing against anybody else, but I start competing against myself. And since everybody else is like moving as well, it's almost like a competition. So
Mhm.
I found that I like that. But I just kind of like, you know, they're there to like, okay, this is your form. Like, you know, hey, make sure you're paying attention to this when you're doing this lift.
Yeah.
And for me, that's good because, you know, I'm
'Cause you're
almost
new,
40.
yeah.
Like, I don't need any injuries. And just, I like that because it's just kind of giving me the structure I need to, like, just go in, I know what I'm doing,
Mhm.
and get it in and move on throughout my day. So that's what I've been doing. I can already tell, that I'm getting a little bit stronger already, which has been great.
Nice.
Um,
Do they do like, is it, okay, so the class is like 1 hour or something?
Yeah.
Is it like interval training too, or how does it, or they're different classes, a lot of different classes? I've never actually been.
yeah, every day's different, but I
Okay.
think you probably have to ask the owner, but
Okay.
I think that, you know, each day they're focusing on something different.
Okay, like a different skill or a different
Yeah,
move?
I
Yeah.
think in one day they're more focused on like arms and shoulders, and then,
Okay.
you know, one day you're probably doing more squats and deadlift kind of stuff.
Sure, yeah, legs, lower body days, yep.
Yep.
That's cool. No, and then I noticed that's huge, especially now, man. It's like a group fitness thing. Just it's huge because people feed off each other's energy.
That community.
Yeah, and you got the accountability too.
Yeah.
Like if
Like you
you're
don't show
not-
up there
yeah.
like, hey, where you at?
Where you at, dude? What happened? You know, like it sucks. Sometimes you're like, oh, just stop calling me, leave me alone. But on the other hand, it's like, man, I'm glad you called because I probably wouldn't have showed up today
Right.
or something. Or
Right.
you got something to look forward to because sometimes you're right. You go to the gym by yourself, and I mean, a lot of times now I just want to get in, get it done, and leave. But other times you're like, man, I wish I had someone to talk to here, or you know, or something like that. And you know, instead of walking around with your headphones in, maybe you can mingle with people, or I imagine there you actually have to hear what the trainer's saying too, right? The
Yeah, there's
coach.
nobody with headphones in
Yeah.
there. So yeah.
Just some loud music, I imagine, right?
Yeah, yeah, really loud music.
And someone yelling at you, get it, get after it, right? Do they have a sled too, like a prowler sled that you push or any of that?
They do, but I haven't used it yet.
Okay.
I think I'd like to. I don't
Yeah,
know.
those look like fun, right?
Yeah.
I have one, but unfortunately I have a gravel driveway, so I can't use it here yet. Thought about getting an area paved, so I found it anyways for cheap on Craigslist. I was like, I'll buy this, I might use it one day. Haven't yet, but I would love to. They look like so much fun, and it's just a killer workout.
Yeah.
So do they do you guys like interval, like you do this set exercise for a certain amount of reps or seconds, or how does it break down?
Yeah, so they usually have like your zone, you
Yeah.
should say, and then
Okay.
you'd have like usually each zone is 4 workouts,
Mm-hmm.
and so then you just kind of go through that. You have like your rest.
Okay, so like a circuit of 4
Yeah.
workout? Yeah.
Yep. And I think
Okay.
usually you're doing. This depends. Usually you're doing 3 or 4 sets of that, and then you move on to the next zone, and then you get through there. So that's kind of the way most of them are. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
2 different zones. Just depends on the day, but that's kind of how they structure it.
Okay, I got it. That's cool. I wanna check that out sometime. Actually, I've seen that they've been expanding lately, and you know, like I said, I've been to like every gym around here, and I have one at the house. It's like I love just checking them out, and
Yeah.
it's a kind of a tight knit community. I don't know. Once you get to know a few people, it feels like you know everyone. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. I can tell that is with them. One of the biggest things is they are very much about community.
Mhm.
So the other night, I think it was Thursday night, workout. One guy, he was down 40 pounds. So everybody get crowded around him. He got a 40-pound down shirt, you know, like
Ah,
negative
nice.
40 shirt.
That's
And another
cool.
guy was down like 10 pounds. So we all crowded around, and got a picture together. So I
Nice.
think one of their biggest things though is definitely community. They do. Sorry, I'm like hyping up Max P.
No,
but
yeah,
I'm
hey,
just kind
shout
of
out
explaining
Max
like,
P, right?
what, yeah, Max P. That's, what they've been like. What I've taken away from it, and why I
Right.
think they're successful in the community is definitely that community. You know, just bringing people together.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's huge, man. That's
Yeah.
why CrossFit was so big for a long time. It, more than anything, it was just bringing people together. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad to see a place like that. You know, I'm glad to see them doing well too, because it's a bummer when you see someone who has a great product that can't get their name out there
Right.
or can't get recognized. So obviously they're doing something right because they're getting recognized too, because they're opening up more locations and moving. So that's good. I wanted to ask you one more thing. Back to kind of fitness, or back to kind of nutrition, I'm sorry,
Sure.
but really it's not nutritious either. I was wondering what your biggest weakness is. Is it the chocolate chip cookies?
oh, yeah,
By far.
100%.
Like the one thing you miss the most, right? You're just like, man, I really kind of, I could easily fall off this wagon.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'll still make some every once in a while. You know,
Sure.
I usually make some at home if I'm doing that. But I know I can't have that stuff in the house.
No.
Because so what will happen is I'll make some like on a weekend, like on Sunday night or something, and Monday comes and there's still some left over.
That's breakfast.
You know, like, so this is like something I realized about myself, and is I have a problem like stopping,
Nah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
and so with those, like, it's like they're staring at me, like, you know, I just think about them. I know it sounds funny, but I mean, that's legit,
Yeah,
like,
it's true. You wake
and-
up in the middle of the night.
and I have taken the bag and thrown them away before, cause like, and not throw them away inside. I take them outside to the outside garbage can because otherwise I would, you know, there's possibility that I'd get in the trash and dig them. Like,
You're like,
they're in a bag.
Yeah, this
like,
didn't touch the rest of the garbage.
Yeah.
I'm like that with cheesecake, dude. That's my weakness.
Oh,
So
hey,
like,
I have a good protein cheesecake recipe.
I'm gonna have
so,
to, yeah, I'm gonna have to get that because I'll go to like go to Woodfield Mall or something, you know,
Yeah.
in Texas de Brazil. Have you ever eaten there?
I haven't.
Oh,
I heard
so
about
good.
it though.
It's really, it's just a, you know, like all you can eat, but they just bring like really good cuts of meat around the
Yeah.
table. So it's fairly, you know, fairly healthy. I mean, some of them I'm sure have extra, you know, cheese or this or that, but really it's a fairly healthy, you know, idea compared to a lot of other restaurants. But
Sure.
anyways, we usually eat there, and then it's like Cheesecake Factory's right on the other side, you
Yeah.
know, and it's so hard to say no because it's like, oh, it's an hour drive and I'm already here. I might as well. You catch yourself making these excuses that are,
Yeah.
you know.
But you know, like I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like you do have to live a little. But then,
Mhm. Yeah.
as long as you can give yourself that boundary,
Yep. You have to
and-
know your limits, right?
like if we go into Schaumburg and my wife and I are on a date night and we go to like Maggiano's,
Mm-hmm.
guess what?
It's going down.
I'm gonna eat Maggiano's.
Yeah.
But the next day, I'm gonna try to make sure I'm not eating all the leftovers.
Yeah.
As well, you know,
You're
because
getting
I'm
right
just
back
gonna,
after it, right?
just gonna move on. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should be about like just completely restricting yourself so much. But you know, making sure that if you're running for a goal or something,
Mhm.
keep that in the forefront. And
Yeah.
you know, like if you have a little off day, okay, but
Exactly.
don't make it off week or off month or you
Yeah.
know, most of us had off years.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If you work out one day, you're not going to be the strongest dude around. Just like if you mess up one day eating, you're not going to be like completely, you know,
Right.
worthless. It's just we all make mistakes, and that's the thing too is it's not sustainable if you can't, you know, eat something you like once in a while. You eventually you're gonna you know outlast, be like, that's it, I'm eating everything.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
love
go
it.
crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's good to indulge once in a while, right?
But once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Once in a while. Once in a while isn't like once a day. I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that covers that. Did you watch the game yesterday? Super Bowl?
I did. Yep.
Yeah.
We watched it late though. We recorded it and then.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
think we started till like 7 o'clock.
So you didn't catch yourself in any Super Bowl parties or anything like that?
No, we were just at home,
Okay,
kiddos. Yeah, you know, I was not so much rooting for a team.
No.
I was rooting for Nick Foles
Oh yeah, yeah.
because
What a story, dude, right?
well, you remember it. You remember him in 2013? Like he was probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
He just had an amazing year, and then and I just remember because I saw him as the backup. I'm like, whatever happened to him? I remember he
Yeah.
was so good that
Well, I
year.
thought he was gonna retire and not even play this year too, or something, right?
Maybe. I
Yeah.
mean, so 2013, he had that awesome year. I think he got traded to some other team, and I heard a story, and it sounded like obviously that team didn't go well, and he
Mhm.
just lost his confidence.
Yeah.
And then he was back up to Alex Smith in Kansas City. And then that story I was listening to was, you know, he started believing in his game again.
Yeah.
Because I think whatever happened, he started second guessing himself.
So much of it's mental too.
Yeah, so when I saw him coming in for Carson Wentz and I watched the game that he was playing, I was like, oh man, like I remember that guy was so good, what happened to
Yeah.
him? And then like the playoffs, you saw like that old guy coming back.
Yeah.
So I started watching the playoffs and I'm like he's gonna, like if they get to the Super Bowl, like he's gonna be the key.
Yeah.
So that's who I was rooting for. Like if the Patriots won, fine, but as long as Nick Foles had a good game, I was like,
Yeah.
that's a win for that guy. That's what I was looking for, and he did awesome. So
Yeah, fast forward to the end, wasn't he MVP? Yeah.
he did. He got MVP.
Super Bowl MVP, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's like a crazy, like a Cinderella story you'd call
It
that.
was,
you know,
it
like,
was.
That was awesome. So I didn't know if you ended up going to any parties, because I was going to ask how you control yourself too around certain atmospheres that have, you know, a lot of temptation.
Oh,
So,
sure. So some tips I gave this to our client group last night. Preparation.
Mhm.
Like you just know what you're going into, right?
Mentally,
it's like
right?
it's like a war.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, you know what I'm doing. You know, you got to get mentally prepared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I utilized the analogy of the Super Bowl last night,
Mhm.
and was like, well, these guys have been preparing for weeks, right?
Yeah.
Just like you guys, you've been preparing for weeks for this day.
You knew you were going to this
Yeah,
party.
Yeah, I mean, make sure check in with the host. Like if you're going to somebody's house, be like, hey, what's on the menu for tonight? Like what are you guys having? If there's something on there that you're like, well, I can't eat any of that. If I'm working towards these goals, then bring a dish to pass.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna complain about you bringing extra food.
Oh, more food, darn.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And then you have something that's gonna keep you, on track. And then you can also feel like you're partaking in the party, and you're not the person standing in the corner eating a carrot.
Or drinking water and not,
Yeah, exactly. So that's the biggest thing, is just be prepared, and maybe you eat a meal ahead of time so you're not as hungry and going in there like you're starving and just want to get everything at the table. So I think for people, just being prepared and mentally going, okay, this is what I'm going to do, having that game plan, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I brought this stuff, and
that's smart.
Sometimes it goes awry, but at least you're working on that.
Yeah, no, those are actually some really good points I didn't even think of. I'm like, that's actually really smart, I didn't go anywhere for the game either, so we watched the first half at the in-laws because they were babysitting the baby, and then after the halftime show, which Justin Timberlake nailed that.
That was great.
I came home and watched the rest at home, so I just had like a bowl of chili, so I was like, hey, I did good,
There you go.
But yeah, that halftime show was really good. There's nothing political, nothing, no bad words, no crazy nip slips. It was just a good show.
Great.
Yeah, he's talented, man. And okay, I guess moving forward, do you have any resolutions for this year?
So I turned 40 in August,
Mm-hmm.
and this year I just want to get the healthiest and fittest I've ever been in my life. So that's kind of my goal as far as personally.
Yeah, so that's why you added the exercise
Yep.
in, right? With
Yep.
the nutrition, yeah.
And I just want to, I don't know, just get in a place where I feel, whatever happens to the 40s, I don't know what's going to happen when I turn 40. I'll probably
Yeah.
feel exactly the same, but I'd rather go into it, being the best version of myself I could. As far as business is just, we just have a lot of people to help.
Mm-hmm.
And just for me, I think just finding new ways to how we can reach people and just kind of get our word out that, like, hey, if you've lost hope, there is still hope. Like we can help pretty much anybody unless there's some kind of crazy medical condition. Like
Yeah, if there's something medically limiting, obviously that's going to have to be cleared by a
Right.
physician first, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing. I think a lot of people have tried so many things, just like I had, and
Frustrated.
just kind of threw in the towel, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just like, I remember I used to say to myself, I would just be like, well, I'm just supposed to be 240 pounds. Like, I'm just the husky guy, right? Like, this is, and I talked myself into that because I was just like, well, I just kind of give up.
It's easier.
Nothing's working for me, so I may as well just own this, like, version of me, I guess.
Own this 240
Right.
pounds.
Like my family would always call me big guy, and it's not like I'm 5'11", like just shy of 6 foot, but so I'm not like a big huge guy, but I was, a big guy. So they would call me big guy, and I think I just kind of owned that because I just kind of gave up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just gotta, I mean, like you said before, so much of it's mental too, and then I guess what is your end goal with this now? Just to help as many people as you can? I mean, this is something you can do, I mean, as long as you're alive almost, right? I mean, this is, as far as like a career, you don't have to stop, right?
No, I don't think we have plenty of people to get healthy.
Yeah.
For us, it's just kind of what I said, is just bringing hope back to people that they can live a bigger, healthier life and do more with their life. I think so many people just kind of wade through life, and like there's so much more you can do. And I think too, when people start believing, like especially with their health, like they start getting healthy, they want to do more.
Yeah, or they start seeing changes too. It's huge. They feel more comfortable in their own skin.
It affects everything.
Yeah.
And their mental game, and just realizing like, hey, this one little dream of actually being healthy, like I was able to create that. But what else can I dream about? What else can I create? And so that's why I love seeing people just thriving. So we have a client that, when she started, her first message to me was like, cool beard dude.
Ha!
I don't like people. I don't talk to strangers. I need your help.
Uh-huh.
And I was actually helping this weekend at their house. They're building their dream house, and we went and helped
Nice.
paint. But just to see the difference in her from the girl that I met the first time, it's like night and day.
Confidence is through
Yeah.
the roof compared
Yep.
to then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
huge, man. I mean, we're social beings. We're put here to deal with people. So when you hear someone say something like that, you know, hey, there's something going on in there that we gotta
Right.
help. We gotta get that confidence up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. So yeah, that's the one thing too about what you're doing is the future's endless. Like when you're working at Woodward, there's an expiration date. Like, hey, there's a day you're checking out. Like even if you work there until you're retired, you're gonna retire. With what you're doing now, you can do that until the day you can't type anymore, you know, until the day you can't talk. You can just keep going because the knowledge you've got, you can share with people, you know, no matter how old you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's awesome, dude. Well, thanks for coming out. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover before we close out?
No, probably just if anybody wants to just learn about what we do,
Yeah.
I'm just on Facebook, Jason Adams. I'm on Instagram, Jason August Adams.
Yep. Is that all? Just all one word, no underscores or anything?
Yep, no
Just at
underscores, just Jason August Adams all together. You can reach me at gainoptimalhealth@gmail.com.
Okay.
But otherwise, we're on there. You know, try to put out some decent content. I'm gonna have a Health Transformers Facebook page up pretty soon.
Nice.
But I need to get some stuff on there first.
Yeah, you
So-
put the content on
yeah,
first,
put some
right?
content
So
on
don't
there.
go and
So
it's just a blank wall. like,
exactly,
oh.
it's a blank page, and we're like, well, what's this?
I'm in. Sign me
So
up.
yeah, just keep an eye out for that. That will be hopefully this month. I'd like to get that rolling a little bit more. But otherwise, I mean, if you guys are thinking about your health and doing something, just try some things, see what's gonna
Mhm.
work. And the biggest thing is making that mental shift.
Yep.
Like you can do any program, any diet, anything. It's gonna work temporarily, but if you don't make those permanent changes, like if you go do a diet and then go right back to what you were doing before, well, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna go right back to those old results.
Mhm.
So, you know, whatever you're doing, I support you in that, but make those permanent changes and just use it as a stepping stone for the rest of your life.
Beautiful, dude. I couldn't have said it better. Well, thanks for coming out, man. We'll
Yeah,
close
thanks for
this
having
out of
me.
here. Yep, and I'll leave all of his contact information. I'll leave the Facebook and the Instagram also in the description so
Perfect.
people can see it. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See ya. Sweet. I hit stop, so we're good. Nice, dude. Yeah. So actually, I'll just write that down. That's a new thing I kind of been trying to do.